Well, here we are, it's the end of September, the holidays are coming. I love the holidays, I love Christmas. I've always bought inflatables, I've tried to decorate my house with as many lights as possible. I figured this year, why not go a little crazier? Mainly my wife wants me to get rid of my inflatables, but I've always thought about putting the LEDs to music. And last year, my dad got me outdoor speakers for my patio, which would be perfect for lights to music. So I've been watching a lot of videos on YouTube. There's this guy, Dr. Z's. I know, he speaks to me. He's got this really cool thing on like how to do your own LED light show. And he goes through the ways in which you do this, the things you need to buy and all that stuff. So everything you're gonna see here, I got on Amazon a couple days ago, and we're gonna jump right in and see how we can do this. It's probably gonna make things a lot easier. We're filming this because you can go on YouTube and you see all these videos of somebody else doing it, and I've always wanted to do it. So we're gonna document this on our own end because I'm not an electrician, I'm not an engineer, I'm marginally smart. I went to Arizona State, Harvard of the West. I really think I can do this. So watching on YouTube, I figured I'd do my own video to show you that you too can do this as well. And if you can't, enjoy a seltzer along the way. So these are LEDs. I'm gonna go with the 12-volt LEDs. Now they're about 3 inches apart, so I ordered 500. There's some simple math of how to run it against your roof line. We have an Adobe flat roof house, so there's a couple things I'm gonna need to do, and I'm gonna have to buy some kind of a drill press. I'm gonna learn about that, and then I gotta go to Lowe's and buy a J channel, so that way I can run my roof line that way they go straight. And when you think about running your roof line with non-LEDs, something like that at like Walmart or Home Depot would probably run you 40 or 50 bucks anyways, but they take a lot of electricity, and usually they burn out after 3 or 4 years. So with the LEDs here, they say about 10 years, and we're cutting on power. So I was told I need to get a 3-pack of these NodeMCUs, I think they're called, and you need one for each channel or line. So I'll have this for the roof, I'll have this for our garage, and I'll have this for our front door. As you know, when you're buying things on Amazon, they do a really good job of recommending what else you should get when you buy this. So they told me I need to get jumpers, male to male, male to female, and female to female. A part of that is where the power is gonna go for our light show. So since we're gonna go with 12 volt, we went ahead and got the full on, I believe this is a LED power supply. It's 30 volts here. So Dr. Z's does a pretty good job talking about how many amps you're gonna need for all the LEDs, and this is the one that he recommended as well for what our show is, and then if we're gonna make it a little bit bigger. Here is where we're gonna somehow put wires in, and we're gonna put the power here, the power supply, and with the power supply noted, it also recommended that I bought a switch. So, I don't know, I'm familiar with this. I don't know, I'm sure one of these is, okay, so these two here are the power, and I would think this one's the ground. So I'm gonna learn about this. It also recommended that I get some extra wires. For everything you're seeing here, I believe I spent about $350 as for my first investment. And in doing this, I'm sure I'm gonna have to buy things that I didn't think about, but I'm gonna get back to watching YouTube. At this point, with the MCUs, there's some software I've gotta download, so I'm gonna do that next, just to make sure that I can do that on my computer. Some of the things, the hurdles I'm thinking about now, they say you have to hardwire your show into your modem, so I have to figure that out in my house, how I'm going to do that. As I mentioned previously, I have to figure out where the power supply is going to go, and I'm really curious with the power supply how I'm going to power up my entire roof line, and then also run the same line for my garage doors and my front door. Usually that would be extension cords. So I went ahead and purchased a 10-foot and a 12-foot cord for power, which again would link up with my switch. So I'm not sure if I need to get 3 more switches or what I'm gonna do there, but some simple questions I have now, and I got a lot more to learn. I've always wanted to do this, and I want you to know that you can do this too. As you look down below in the notes, we're gonna have you all the links in which I bought, Amazon links for the lights, the power strip, and all the accessories I've got as well. This project here is gonna be Halloween based, and you're probably thinking you're gonna go through all of this to put it up for Halloween and take it down for Christmas. No, we're gonna go orange, maybe some green for Halloween. We're gonna roll right through November and right into Christmas, and we're gonna use the same lights on our roof line for that as well. These are jump wires, which is gonna enable us to go from the brain to the lights. What I learned is these are male to male, female to female, and what we're gonna be using are the female and male portions. So on the male portion, that's what's gonna go into our NodeMCU, and then it's gonna roll up here to our lights, so that way this is what's gonna tell the lights what color to be. I told you I like this guy, Dr. Z's. He mentioned you take the jumpers here, put it into V and G on the lower left, and then you have your ground on the right-hand side. So far in the video, I figured out that I have to get my jumpers and my brain and my lights, and I'm just wiring them up. I just finished getting my NodeMCU updated on WLED.com. I'm gonna show you how we just did that. All right, so with our little brain, I'm calling it the brain, you have to then sync it. So it's asked to go to WLED.me, and in doing so I have to download some software. So in doing this, we're using Windows. So I'm gonna download WLED, and then I also have to download a flasher. The links are in the notes below. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna sync this to our computer now. You should see a blue light flash in the upper right-hand corner. Now that we're linked in, we're gonna go to this part here, we're gonna hit refresh. As we hit refresh, it should pick this up, and we're going to see COM3. And we're gonna click Flash ESP, and it should run, and it's gonna update this MCU. I am following along with Dr. Z's Beginner's Guide to Christmas Lights. As I've noted before, this is the guy that had explained kind of in the best way to this point, and I'm really enjoying it, and I'm finding it pretty easy to do.
The NodeMCU uses the ESP8266 chip. Don't worry, there's no test. You're not gonna have to remember that. But that tells you which of these files you need to download. Look for new Wi-Fi networks, and you'll find one called WLED AP. Connect to that. So the password is WLED, all lowercase, then 1, 2, 3, 4. Sure.
All right, so now that we have done our flash, we've logged into the Wi-Fi that it tells us to go to, and it brings us to the WLED page. From what I've learned, you can manually do the controls yourself, but if you're like me, probably like me, you're just gonna go to Wi-Fi settings. So you'll click on Wi-Fi settings, and it should take you directly to being able to program. So at this part here, you're gonna name your network, and you're gonna go down and give it a web address, which is then gonna help tell the brain which one it is. So this one here is gonna be roofline, and then we'll do a second one for the garage doors, and then we'll call it, after that, something else.
Wait a minute, and then in the browser,
What we
type what
did.
you put in the box.
So found the J channel on Walmart.com. The idea here is to get your LEDs in a straight line. So every 3 inches I did a 1/2 inch hole, and the thought will be to be able to plug them through, just like so, into the J channel. What I'm gonna try to do is use this as a little like guide. So then that way every 3 inches I can have my hole. So I went to Harbor Freight, got a drill press, and then I guess the next step is to check out our J channel and make sure this thing works. And there we have it. We started with our template here. Again, 1/2 inches, 1/2 inch hole every 3 inches. And we use our template here to drill against our J channel. So we got our holes in our J channel. We have a flat roof Adobe home. So the thought process here is we're gonna drill this into the roof line, and then we'll have the LEDs face outward towards the street. Real moment of truth. Let's see how this goes. And ladies and gentlemen, we have ourselves a J channel.
So perfect.
I know. So far, we're starting to run lights. We've got power, we got our door done and our garage door, but we've had some mishaps. So first and foremost, down below you can see we got our power supply, we got the switch, and then we have our power inverter from 12 volt to 5 volt. We're running J channels on the roof, but on our door frame here, we just went ahead and used staples to see kind of how it goes. So far, so good. Neighbors love it, we love it, all good. We're using the same power supply there for our front doors as we are here for the garage doors. So we ran the power line against the house. We're gonna tidy that up. We had a little bit of a mishap. All right, so here for our garage door, we went ahead and used staples as well. We got our NodeMCU. I'm gonna get a little bit of a Tupperware. That way this can sit here so it's not sitting on the ground. But the other night I decided to set my laptop out, program it. But as you can see, I've got the tire tracks here. Yep, you guessed it. I left my laptop here overnight, completely forgot about it, and ran over my laptop. This project just got a little bit more expensive. We're up here on the roof. Didn't have a powerful enough drill, so I got an 18-volt Ryobi. So far, so good. 5/30 seconds is our drill tip bit. And of course, we drilled these with 1/2 inch through here for our LEDs. So what we're gonna do right now is we're gonna drill holes into our roof line, and we're gonna use some Tapcon screws. From what I understand, that's the best for our situation here. So hopefully this will get us set up here on the roof line with our LEDs. Here we are, we've got the LEDs now. The J channel is screwed into our flat roof. Getting drilled into the concrete was a little bit harder than I thought, but again, drill press 1/2 inch holes, LEDs, popping them in. It's 450 LEDs for us on our roof line. When you open up the app, WLED, you're gonna press the plus sign in the upper right-hand corner, and you're gonna press Discover Lights. It'll discover your lights here. After your lights are discovered, you're gonna have your 3 different setups. We have 3 WLED setups here with our NodeMCUs. When you're in WLED, you're gonna come to your first screen. It's all of your colors, and you can even change your palettes. You go to your effects, and this is gonna be all the cool things WLED can do. Now you're probably wondering what this is gonna look like when you press the buttons. Cool thing, press peak. And right here at the top, you'll get a little preview. You can speed it up, slow it down, all kinds of cool things you can do here with WLED. We did it. It was a lot harder than I expected, but I'm excited for you all to see how it looks at night. It's awesome. So it was a lot harder than I expected because they're in increments of 50, and what I haven't learned yet is how to turn off the remaining lights. So for our doors here, we use 300 LEDs, but you can see we got about 30 extra. So it looks okay being tucked by our door, but for those that don't have a place to tuck by your door, I don't really know what you do. I'm sure you could probably turn them off. I haven't learned that yet. When it comes to power, one of the things that we realize is, where do you put your power? We can't hide it behind certain things here. So this year, we went ahead and got a Tupperware from Target, and we've got our power supply, our switch, our LED, and our power converter in a little Tupperware here. We live in Phoenix, Arizona, so we're not anticipating incredible amounts of rain, but we're gonna give this a shot this year, but I think we're gonna have to make it more safe. One thing you're gonna need to get are electrical caps. Every 50 LED strand, you're gonna have your clip here to go to the next strand, and you're gonna have a little power addition. So you have a red and a blue wire if you wanna add power. We didn't need to, but you're gonna need to get a cap here to cap it off. All right, so we're talking about running lights. You saw how we did our door. Over here with our garage, we went ahead and used staples for right now. We've talked about that. You can see when you use staples, it kind of goes offset. Not the most clear, but again, we're using WLED for this Halloween version. But on our roof line, we went with J channels. And I love the way it looks at night when the lights are running, but during the day, I could probably clean up how I space them out. Something I'll work on for next year. In the end, I'm so glad we did this for Halloween because I got a good idea of how much work this actually takes. I've even seen on Instagram, I followed the hashtag XLights because my next goal is to get all this fun stuff to music. But before you can walk, you gotta crawl. So we learned about J channels, we learned about LEDs, all the wiring, and all the things I thought I'd need, and I didn't need, and all the tools I didn't have. So here we are, happy Halloween. Now I'm really excited to show you all the cool things these lights can do. And the colors, they're endless.